see what I got. Aww. G43. I've already got like 3 of these. Recently, one of the patrons wanted to know how to do battle damage. And when I teach a lesson, I like to have reference on hand so you guys know what it is I'm trying to replicate. But I don't have any battle damage. So today we are going to fix that problem the American way by shooting stuff. America! Brought out 2 pieces of steel today. One of them is a hardened AR-500 target that we use for training. Now this will not deform like we want it to, but we wanted to bring it out so that you guys can, just for fun, see the difference in energy delivered upon impact. You can see the effect of the plate as it swings between the different ammunition types. And then we also have this piece of mild steel, which is much softer and should deform quite a bit. We're going to shoot it with a variety of different ammunition types from different firearms. We should get a good variety of damage for reference. First round we're going to be trying is the 380 Auto, which is a diminutive cartridge. It is small. They call it the 9mm cuts. And it was designed initially for use with hobbits and has found a home with self-defense minded children and the elderly and eunuchs. So we are going to put a few rounds downrange. You can see how this looks. Now, on the turn of the century, the Germans tried to kill us all with the 9mm Luger. And while that didn't work out, it is a very popular caliber today. We're going to shoot that as well. I'm going to turn that over to my friend Eddie. Now, in response to the German threat, the Americans introduced God's gift to man, the 45. Now, it is a well-documented fact that this is the victor of 2 world wars. And I would appreciate if you Philistines would put your hands over your heart, as we are about to send some judgment downrange. Next, we're going to step it up with the rifle calibers. We're going to be doing .223 or .556. Now, the benefit of .556 is that it's lightweight and really fast, so hopefully we should get some pretty cool deformation on the steel. Oh yeah, you can see daylight through that. We got penetration. Take a look at what we got so far. So here we have the weensy little 380 that could be repaired with a little bit of finger rubbing. The 45, which if I gave you my real opinion of it, you would dox me for homophobia and fat shaming, left a nice little star there and not much else. But the rifle rounds, now we're getting somewhere. We got full penetration all the way through, some jacketing left on the outer rim. Oh yeah, it's about to get good. we're stepping up to the 308 with a battle rifle. This should leave a pretty good hole. Alright. So to achieve penetration in ballistics, velocity is key. If you can only have one, velocity is better than mass. That's why the 45 did nothing, and the 5.56 went straight through. But ideally, you can have both. Check that out. So that's great. Look at that. We got more of the jacket. We got a straight, clean burn through there. Here's the comparison between the 5.56 and the 308. So in the late 1940s, Mikhail Kalashnikov made himself a bullet called 7.62-39. So here we have a rifle representing the AK family. This is a fat bullet, not moving as fast as the 5.56, but it is a lot bigger. Let's see if it can get through. Oh yeah. So here was the previous round, the 308, and here is the 7.62-39. Now both of these fire the 7.62 bullet, but the AK is shooting it a lot slower. Now the 308, you see how both of them have this material coming out? I have an idea of how to replicate that in miniature form already. We're going to see if it works. But this is fascinating because the slower bullet actually leaves more material, whereas the faster bullet leaves a cleaner hole. Anybody that looks at the 7.62-39 finds it evident that Mikhail Kalashnikov preferred the corn-fed hose. However, the Russian military went to the 5.45 in the 70s, which is very similar to the 5.56. They were looking to keep up in the arms race. Now what this will do is, we'll see if the lighter bullet makes any difference in deformation on that steel. Whoa! So when this hit, it actually knocked a chunk of this steel off. So this steel is probably differentially hardened. It's probably mild in some places, and where it's thin, it probably got more tempered and got brittle. That actually chipped a piece off. So you may not be able to see too well, but we're also, there it is, that new piece. We're also going to be talking about how to replicate this in our minis. Broken, brittle steel. Now a little Italian diversion. We're going to try some 12 gauge slugs. Now all you nerds out there will know that bolter shells are close to the same caliber here. You might be a little bit surprised about the effect of these though. So let's load these up and see how they do. Okay, check this out, dudes. A lot of people think that slugs have super penetration, and that they are the end-all be-all, but look, we have no actual penetration, just some cereal bowls printed in this. Look at the deformation on the back, though. Look how much it stretched that steel. So even if you have a really big bullet, unless you have the velocity to match it, it still won't go through. So this is more deformation we're going to have to learn how to do. Get these big old scoops out of here. Now for some vintage German engineering. Some 8mm Mauser, which is way more powerful than it ever needs to be. Let's see what it do. This is Greek ammunition, and it has failed quite a bit. Garbage. Yep. I do believe, which one of is it this one here? I think it's this one.
Yeah.
That 8mm left a lot of jacket. It's almost peeling like a flower. Look at the petals there. So that'll be something cool to look at. Someone also did it. I think this was the, that was the AK. Let's take a look at the back. Oh man, that's sharp. Yeah. That stretched and left it real picoso. Cool. We are going to turn to our English brethren at this point with the SMLE. We're going to be shooting 303 Brit. Now, I would love to shoot more English weapons, but they don't make any, and even if they did, the government wouldn't let them send them our way. I'm going to pass this over to my buddy Eddie, so he's not bored just watching me shoot. Here comes the Zulu, Niles. Go! So Eddie stacked it right next to another round here. You see petals as well. So if you have rounds that one punches halfway through the hole of another, we have to learn to do this too to stack up our holes. Now Americans, we don't like losing. We're not accustomed to it. It seems like the 8mm has left the biggest hole. We're gonna remedy that. Will God. She is wide. She is thick. She is 50 BMG. Praise St. Moses Browning. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lord, please bless the accuracy of this rifle. Amen. And amen. All right, so we got one right here. Woo! Woohoo! Can feel the heat coming off that. It actually superheated the steel. You can see right here how that sliver right there is melted and has turned a rainbow purple. It has actually melted the steel. Let's check the back. Oh, mama! Look at that! So, we are going to need to learn to push our material out and then make these petals for the high caliber stuff. Alright, back in the garage. Let's take a look at this, fellas. And we shot this with a good variety of stuff. Let's recap. So we started with the 380, and went to 9mm and the 45. All of which are pistol calibers and really don't have the speed or the mass to really push through. And mass by itself isn't enough either, because look, we have these slugs, right? The slug divots there, which look really cool, but they didn't penetrate. That's all right. I want to be able to replicate this in maybe the side of a tank or something. I think that would look really cool, like a slow-moving, maybe an orc cannon, you know? Put some dents in the side of a Lehman Russ, but it doesn't go all the way through. So we're going to learn how to do that, and then we're going to learn how to do these petals too. When the bullet goes through, it leaves part of its jacket. Now bullets have jackets to cover the actual projectile. They're coated in a jacket for various reasons we won't go into, but it leaves those petals, and it kind of welds to the steel as well. So what we're going to be doing is talking about how to do those, and how to be doing the pass-through damage as well. This is what I'm most excited about. See, we have, look at the petals coming off that 50 cal. You have that deformation of the steel. You have that sharp edges. I have a good idea of how to do that as well. So stay tuned. I hope that was fun for you guys. I don't know how much you learned, but episode 2 will have the education portion for you. Thanks so much. If you have questions about any other videos, get a hold of us at lastlightcreative@gmail.com. You can also get a hold of us on Instagram. Thanks so much for sticking around, guys. See ya. First round we're going to be trying is called the 9mm cuts, or the 380. Now this is a diminutive. Yeah. We're going to try again. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now in response to the Nazi threat, that's spicy. Should I say Nazi?
No. It was a World War I. There weren't Nazis yet.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're back to back, undefeated world.